Good morning, YouTube. Today, I'm going to give you an update on how our dealership, NG Supercars, is doing.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, and we are in my garage, and this channel is all about the supercar ownership experience. And for those of you that have been watching a little while, you know that we opened up a dealership, NG Supercars, and we've started buying and selling Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Porsches and McLarens, and well, this car, for example, is one of our F430s that's in stock. And one of the things that we've been doing is kind of buying some cars that sometimes need a little work, put a little effort into them, get them nice and ready, and then we sell them to you guys, and we try and be as transparent as possible. We show everything wrong with the cars, and we try and document it as well as possible so that you guys know exactly what you're getting. And I think that's been a really good equation or a really good formula for success for us. So far we've done pretty decent. Admittedly, we've only been in an operation since March of this year, so only a few months. But let's talk about some of the hard numbers, and you guys can kind of, well, see how it's doing and also see that it's not as easy as it seems. It's actually been quite difficult. So here you go. Let's talk about our dealership, NG Supercars, which, by the way, you could go check it out, ngsupercars.com. And if you happen to want to sell us your car or buy one of the cars that we have in inventory, send us an email, sales@ngsupercars.com. So the first thing you got to remember about starting a dealership is there's a bunch of weird startup costs. So we had to go take a dealership training. I think it was like $400 or $500, something like that. But of course, we had to do me and Adam, so it ended up being like, I don't know, let's just say $800, something. I don't remember. It wasn't that substantial. You had to get a dealership bond, which actually was only a few $100s. I'm gonna say less than 500. Of course, had to actually have a physical location. So these are all requirements for the state of Texas. It varies state by state, but the state of Texas says you have to have a physical location. So we had to have a signed rent contract and all that stuff. So we're paying some rent, and you know, we have a place of business and all that stuff. So all those expenses are not the greatest, but we've been pretty lucky because we didn't open up a huge place. So like, we don't have a giant front road retail space that's costing us many thousands of dollars a month, because we only needed a little bit of space in an office. So we kind of are doing it on the cheap. We're also fortunate because we're storing cars, well, at our houses and at the Howard. So we kind of been able to keep our costs low. And then also, because we're only dealing with very expensive cars, we only have a few of them at any time in our inventory. We don't have this need for like a massive parking lot and a, you know, huge inventory of, you know, 50 cars or whatever. You know, at any given moment, we might only have somewhere between like 3 and 6 cars in stock. So it's much smaller. Through the power of the internet, and because we've had all this transparency and stuff, I think we've had a faster turnover rate than most dealerships. So we've been able to sell most of the cars that we've acquired in under a month, with the asterisks of assuming it didn't need anything major. There's a few cars that obviously we've had for much longer than a month, for example, the 575, but we kind of bought that car knowing that we were going to, you know, hold on for a little bit longer because we want to eventually do a conversion on it. So that was a little bit of a more protracted thing, and it's going to take a little bit longer. We expected to have that car for at least a couple months. Other cars we've sold, most of them have been here and gone within a few weeks. Also, we had to get dealership insurance. That's not cheap. That was like $17,000 a year. We had to get some other stuff. So overall expenses aren't crazy, but we've definitely spent a decent amount of money. And of course, because we're actually buying some cars and then fixing them up and stuff, we've actually spent over $50,000 in parts on these cars. So we've actually spent a ton of money trying to get these cars ready for you guys, and stuff like tires and all that adds up. I swear, like every single car we buy pretty much needs tires and needs something else. So I mean, you're talking a couple $1,000s right there. Of course, we have to spend money on shipping these cars. So whenever we acquire a car, we have to spend money to ship it and to get here. So all that sort of stuff. But anyway, enough of that. Let's go through all the cars that we've bought so far and sold so far, and the total costs of some of it. So again, we've only been in operation since March of this year, so we haven't done a whole lot. So far, our total inventory has been 14 cars, and of those 14, we've sold 8 of them. So the first car that we had was the Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggera. We had that car for I don't know, about a little bit over a month or so. That one sat around for a little bit, but it was we were just getting started and all that sort of stuff. We've done the Lamborghini Murcielago, which is actually, our friends are basically buying that through the dealership. We're kind of holding on to them. Again, we haven't even started to work on that car yet, so it's going to be a long time, and we didn't expect to have that car turn around fast. That car is a known long-term car. And then there's the Ferrari 599, which, if you've been watching the channel, you know is my the bane of my existence. Someday it'll be done. I bought that car before the dealership existed, but what I did is I actually put it into the dealership now. So it is owned by the dealership at this point. It is technically in the dealership's inventory. The 2006 Ferrari F430 Spider, that car we had very quickly and sold very quickly, actually within like a week. We've also done a 2005 Ferrari F430. Both of those were in red. We had the 2012 McLaren MP412C. We have the 2005 Ferrari 575 Maranello, which is still in stock. The 2015 McLaren 650S. Done the 2007 Ferrari F430, 2003 Porsche Boxster S, which we again have because we're still getting it cleaned up. It had a few things, like the wing was missing. We had to get new tire, some other stuff. So that car is now ready to go. We had the 2021 Corvette C8. That car is gone. The 2017 Jaguar F-Type R. That car is gone. Both the Corvette and the Jag were trade-ins. That was cool that we got those traded in and then we're able to sell those pretty quickly. 2001 Ferrari 360 Spider. You guys have not seen that car yet because we got it and it broke. So we're trying to fix that car right now. We're gonna start showing you that. So you're gonna wanna stay tuned for those videos. They should be coming out very soon. And then finally, this 2005 Ferrari F430. So that's all the cars. So right now we have the 430, the 360, we have the Porsche Boxster S, the 599, and the Murcielago in stock, and we currently are on the hunt for more cars. How much money have we spent acquiring all of these cars? Well, we've spent approximately $1.5 million acquiring all of these cars, and again, we've spent somewhere north of $50,000 just in parts for these cars. So our total cost for all these cars is over $1.55 million. So we spent a ton of money. How much have we sold? We've sold 8 cars and we've sold them for approximately $1 million. So we're doing pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with that. It's, you know, we're making some good momentum. The one big constraint that we have is that so far all of the funding has been from us. We have not taken on any floor plan. We have not taken on any loans or anything, even though we talked about doing that early on. And some of you may have seen that video. We were looking for investors. We decided not to. So we might end up doing a floor plan because it actually was a cheaper rate than doing the investment strategy that we talked about doing earlier. We're thinking about it. We're not sure. We might do that. I think it would help the company grow faster. That's kind of why we're interested in it. Our costs we can keep pretty low because we don't have this big lot. We don't have this huge inventory, and that keeps us nice and lean. And because we're doing a lot of the work on the cars, we're buying cars that are generally undervalued and then bringing them back up to market conditions. And that's really what it's about, is we have to look and look and look to find a car. So we go through probably 30 to 50 cars before we actually buy one. I mean, we're very picky. It just has to be the right numbers, the right everything. And for those of you that want to sell us your car, feel free to send us an email and pictures and the VIN and information about it, and we could make you an offer. But don't be offended if it's a low offer, because we have to be able to make money on it. And we also have to compute in that we assume there's going to be things wrong with the car that aren't going to be disclosed. Doesn't matter how good the car is, we pretty much, every single one of them, once we start scrutinizing the car, we find stuff wrong with it that we want to fix. So it just happens. So we just kind of accept that, and we roll that into our costs. Simple things like we get a car and we expect that the tires probably need to be replaced. And that on a car like this can easily be $2,000+. So we just kind of have to bake that in. Let's say you want to sell us a Ferrari F430 and you want $130,000 for it, and the market for that car is maybe $135,000. We can't buy it to, you know, have that much risk to only make $5,000, because once we ship it here, which is like $2,000, and then let's say it needs tires, it's another $2,000. Well, now we're only making $1,000. So that doesn't work. Like, we just, no. So it's going to be something larger than that, you know. So just keep that in mind. But that's it. Yeah, so we're doing pretty good. We appreciate all of you guys for the support. It's been amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, and as long as we're here in the garage, quick garage update. The AC is in. Oh, yes. I feel so good. So we're gonna be doing some more stuff in the garage. I was waiting for the AC to get installed before we moved on to some of the other stuff. There's actually, well, oh shoot, you can see in the background. That's my lift. Yeah, we're installing a lift. It's not a full lift, it's just a little half lift. And we're also gonna install the lights and do the ceiling, and we're gonna insulate the garage door. So all those videos are coming up soon. So you should probably like, share, and subscribe because we're gonna have some pretty cool stuff coming your way. But again, we do appreciate the support, so thank you so much for all of you that have stayed with us for all this time. And by the time this video comes out, we're probably at 75,000 subscribers, which means one of you is finally getting the Ferrari caliper clock. So also that means we need a new giveaway. So we need to give a cool giveaway. If you guys have some cool ideas, let me know in the comments below, and we'll keep doing some cool car stuff. So you're gonna wanna stay tuned. It's gonna be sweet.